So in the episode, we see Lilith standing on the balcony of the Emperor's castle, which we will see Emperor Bello stand at the same place later on in the episode. In the last episode of the All House, Lilith threatened Ida that she would return with more people, and man oh man did she keep her promise, because she brought an entire force of people, but Hootie beats them up and possesses one of them, which I have a theory about that on. Hootie wakes up instantly as they try to attack and charge at the house. Then he greets Lilith right before whacking her in the face, says that he doesn't like intruders, starts beating them up, possesses one of the Emperor's people, which I don't really understand. Maybe the whole army that she commanded was just ghosts and spirits. Which is interesting because that would mean that the entire army the Emperor owns are just spirits and ghosts. But that wouldn't quite make sense because of in earlier episodes where we saw that they could do magic. Unless spirits and ghosts can do magic, then that would have to be real people. But then how could they be possessed by Hootie and have no body on the inside? By the way, how did Hootie possess them? Even if they were spirits and ghosts, he didn't have any arms or legs and he wasn't a ghost, so how could he take control of their body? I mean, sure, it's magic and that could explain for itself, but still. All of this while Ida is watching, and then she sips what we can assume to be her morning's apple blood. Of course, when Ida shows Lucy what Luce calls spaghetti and tells her about how she'll turn it into a cape and hoodie to wear to protect her from the Emperor's guards and other people, Luce immediately wants it, only for Ida to say that she needs it more. But either way, it was going to be given to Luce because Ida was planning to give it to her as a present before you know what happened. Luce says that she thinks that Emperor Bellos wants her so badly because he's got the hots for her, and that could be a possibility. The whole thing with Ida having a lot of ex-boyfriends, why couldn't he be one of them? And why would he want to heal her so bad? Why would he offer Lilith healing her? Because if he's the Emperor, why can't he just order her to bring her in alive or dead? Dead or alive. I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. But then if that were true, who's this person next to him? It seems like this person has greater importance and meaning than just background, and could that be his second in command? Immediately the curse sprouts up, and we see that in Ida's dream she was asleep when she got cursed. But then again, how would she know that someone cursed her and who did it and how they looked and who they looked like? And they open the door and Ida sees the mysterious figure, cough, cough, what a jerk they were, and she immediately tries to reach for their face, only waking up and grabbing Luce's face. And then we see that they had to give Ida at least 13 elixirs for her to finally turn back to normal. But her gem is still dark. So Ida's gem reflects how her curse is, and I don't like how they don't give an explanation for this. I think they could have introduced us to the concept of Ida's gem reflecting her curse and how it does it, because won't that make people think that Lilith has a curse? But what if she did? And it's probably that Lilith got her the gem because once she figured out that Ida had the curse, which she already knew, she felt guilty about it and gave it to her as a present to try to make up in her head for what she did. The scarf was revealed to be used by Ida to hide from Luz and King that her gem was still dark, which meant that the curse hadn't fully gone away. And Ida explains that if her gem doesn't fully go back to normal, she might turn into the owl demon forever. And because Luz feels bad, Ida says that she'll allow Luz to do the parallel arm thing, which is a great reminder of how Ida doesn't understand hugs or what they are, and that might be because of her past. Maybe she never received hugs as a kid. When Luz learns of the healing hat, she immediately comes up with a scheme to steal it. Her plan is sneak into castle, steal healing hat, lift curse, but she never reflects on how this could affect Ida and her. Ida would be in danger if they found out that Luz went to the Hexite school, and they would use Luz as a way to get to Ida and brand her with the Emperor's Coven glove. And her friends find out about this, but also when we see the healing hat, it's so realistic that it almost looks fake to me, and I feel like the healing hat will return. Luz hides, worried that Lilith would recognize her, and we know Lilith does later on, while Willow and Gus seem to be more worried than afraid. They seem like they know that Lilith might be ready to attack them, and they're ready to attack her. So it's nice to see that they're prepared for whatever Lilith has planned. Yuki Homura says to wish Lilith good luck as she's going to the Emperor, and Lilith, being super upset, trying to burn Kikimura back, tells the students good luck with puberty. When Emperor Bellows pours the green goo into his eyes, this tells me one of two things. One, he could be blind, and two, he could need this to be able to control people in the Emperor's Coven. And when Ida mentions that he just wants to control her, she might mean in a literal sense. I feel that it is not a coincidence when Emperor Bellows scratches his chair that the heart starts beating remotely faster. This could be that Emperor Bellows has a deep connection with the heart, but this raises a few questions. 1, how does he have a connection with the heart? 2, why is the heart green? And 3, where did the heart come from? I think that the heart came from the original giant that makes up the Bohemian Isles. I think the heart is green because Emperor Bellows controls it. And for that final question, I'm going to let you guys think about it. By the way, in the comment section, guys, please tell me who you think this mysterious person is. I think it could be like the Emperor's second in command or something like that, but yeah, this person really confuses me on who their identity could be. Though I do kind of hope this is Amity's cousin or mom or aunt or something like that, something that has to do with Amity. Some of the relics that stood out to me were the fortune teller's crystal ball, the mirror, and the bell, which I don't understand what that one's for. I believe it's for beast keeping. Though I feel that with the fortune teller's crystal ball, that's gonna tell them how they can save Ida. As Willow, Gus, and Luz are about to leave, Emperor Bellows catches them stealing, and everything goes dark for a second, which tells me that that green goo might be so he can see everything that happens in his castle, so that nothing can slip by him. So this is the part where I speed things up. So Lilith finds Luz, captures her, sends Willow and Gus to Ida's door. Ida gets the message and runs over there. As soon as Ida shows up, she takes no time to listen to what Lilith has to say and immediately starts fighting her, beating her around, and she does incredibly well even though her curse is still pretty bad. Ida tells Lilith that if her curse is so bad, then it's really pathetic how Lilith is losing to her at her worst. Lilith says that Ida always thought that she was stronger than Lilith, and Ida says that she is. only for Lilith to slip and reveal that she was the one who cursed Ida. And man, oh man, before I thought she was someone who was very sad and disappointed that Ida got her curse, but now I fully hate this character. I think she's terrible. I'm gonna be honest, she is the worst in my opinion. As Lilith would say, what a rotten sister. I was never expecting us to get this information so early, but this also makes me think that before in episode Wing It Like Witches, we saw that in the photo, Lilith was jealous that Ida was hanging out with this mysterious character, who I believe is Amity's mom. And by all the diamonds we saw and the diamond at the door, maybe Ida was having a sleepover with Amity's mom, and then Lilith got jealous, did some magic, poofed there, and cursed Ida to make sure that she never hung out with Amity's mom again. Which would add to more reasons why I hate Lilith. I thought that before she was the older sibling that didn't know what to do when her sister got cursed and was trying to do whatever she could to heal her, but now I'm thinking she was that jerk sibling that wanted what she wanted, how she wanted it, and then got what she wanted and was happy all of a sudden. Like Amity before she became super nice, but that times infinite. The fact that even Luce is surprised by this really says something, and Ida, hearing that, has no resistance left in her body and immediately slams Lilith to the wall, and of course, Lilith, being her awful self, cheats and throws Luce off the bridge. And Ida uses a levitation spell to try to lift her up, and Lilith, seeing this as an opportunity moment, decides that she wants to make a fire hand and try to push Luce down more and more so that Ida will struggle using more and more magic to save Luce. And talking about it just makes me hate her more and more. I think Lilith is terrible and does not deserve to get a redemption. I'm gonna be honest. The promotional art had a lot more meaning to it, as each version of Ida's eyes are covered with some black ink, and that tells me that they were trying to tell us that she would become the bird creature, that her eyes would turn dark, and her gem would turn dark, and she would disappear temporarily. I think we can all say that she is going to return at some point. I just hope that she masters her curse and she can turn back and forth on command, or maybe she'll be able to change her form from Ida with wings to Ida with giant claws. Lilith takes Owlbird for some reason, and I feel that's going to have some importance later on, but that also that when Lilith says that Ida's with her real family, that Emperor Bellows might be related to them somehow. He might be their father because, unless he's in love with Ida, what other reasons would he have to let her get away with so many crimes? And if that were true, then that means that this mysterious person could be their mother. I like how when the gate's moving back, that Luce at least tries to jump back on to where Lilith is, but then realizes that it's too far away for her to make it, and probably that Ida wouldn't have wanted her to go out like that, risking her life for her. While Luce is being comforted by Hootie and King, the only shadow we see with extreme amount of length is Luce. And that tells me that Luce is going to be the one to save Ida. And the next episode's description, Young Blood, Old Souls, says that Luce is going to dare to do the impossible, which means the impossible is curing Ida and getting her out of that Emperor's castle. So my final thoughts. Do I like Lilith? No. Do I want her to get a redemption arc? Absolutely not. And do I think she will get a redemption arc? Yes. And the final question, how will Luce do it? How will she save Vita and heal her curse? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about that. And 7 Star X 2.0, signing off.